After setting up a second remote repository that is publicly accessible for our project, the next step we are going to take in the process of deploying our application to AWS cloud is setting up and configuring the application on our EC2 instance. I will SSH into the EC2 instance using PATI. I want to operate as the deployment user, so I will switch to it. I will make sure I am at the user's home directory. We are authenticating into our source control through SSH, so we need to upload the deployment user's public SSH key into our GitLab account. It's exactly the same thing that we did on the servers within our local DevOps lab environment. ls-a to see if the user has SSH keys already. Not yet, so I will generate a pair with this command: ssh-keygen. Press enter to accept the suggested destination for the keys. I will press enter a couple of more times, leaving passphrase empty. Feel free to put passphrase if your situation requires it. Confirm the keys are generated. As always, I will print the content of id_rsa.pub onto the screen, highlight and use Ctrl+C to copy. I will go back to gitlab.com, click Profile Avatar, click Settings, click SSH Keys, then paste the key in the SSH Keys text box. I will change the title to deployment-user at polling-ec2-instance. Then click Add Key. That is done. Next, I will clone the project code onto EC2 server. I will clear my screen. Go back to project page, click Clone and copy clone with SSH URL. Back to EC2, type git clone, then paste the project SSH URL. Press enter to run. Type yes and press enter. Our project code should now be in the current directory. Next, I will cd into the code folder. We need to copy .env.example file into .env. I will nano open the .env file. As always, I will generate a unique secret key for the app on the EC2 instance. Copy the secret key and paste here. I will turn off debug because this is a production environment. For allowed_host variable, I will put the EC2 instance public IP address. DB engine is PostgreSQL. DB name is pollingDB. DB user, I will put polling user. For password, type the DB user's password. DB port for PostgreSQL is 5432. Make sure that the port is enabled in your instance firewall rules. Ctrl+X, Y for yes, and press enter. I will go back to the home directory. Activate the virtual environment with source venv/bin/activate. I will cd into the code folder again. Pip install the application dependencies. That is done. Next, I will run the database migration with python manage.py migrate. The database migration fails because there's no module named G2 in the virtual environment. We will fix that with pip install G2-binary, and to save time, we can as well install Guinicon. That is done. I will clear my screen. I will run the migration command again. And this time we are successful. This shows that our database is configured properly. Next, I will run python manage.py collect static, so our application can place static files in the path that we specified in the code. That is done. I will create a super user that I will use to authenticate into the admin area of the app. To test the power of Guinicon, I will serve the application with this command: Guinicon --bind 0.0.0.0:8000, then polling.wsgi. We did the same thing in the past. I would go back and copy the public IP address of my EC2 instance, paste in the browser, and append :8000 to it. We have this issue because port 8000 is not allowed in the instance firewall rules. Let's fix that. On the instance page, click the Security tab. Here you can see the enabled ports. None of them is port 8000. So I will edit the security group attached to this instance. At the left menu, under Network and Security, I will click Security Groups. I will select the polling app security group. I will drag this panel up for a better view. Click Inbound Rules tab. Click Edit Inbound Rules. Click Add Rules. Leave the rule type as Custom TCP. Port range, I will type a range of 8000 to 8999. So any port between that range will be allowed. Take port 8080 that Jenkins uses by default for example. Select anywhere for source. Description is optional, so I will leave it blank. Don't forget to save the rules and refresh the application page. And here is our application running live on Amazon Cloud. How cool is that? Let's log into the admin area with the super user credentials. Don't panic about the broken CSS styling. It will be unbroken by the time we configure Nginx to pass static file request to the path that we specify in our application code. And that is it for this episode. Let's continue in the next one.